Hi there. Thank you so much for taking time to take part in our survey. I got three preliminary questions to ask you real quick just to make sure you're this person you say you are, confirm your identity. So I've got three questions. One, you are from New York, is that correct?
I've been told.
Okay, great. You're a variety streamer on twitch.tv.
Last I checked.
Great. And your full name is Vincent.
Vincent.
Great.
Correct.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and call you Vince if that's okay. So, Vince, I got 8 questions here, and you can answer them however you'd like. First up, how does variety streaming work for you?
Variety streaming is a way to stream without committing to a single video game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm able to, look around, say, oh, I've got that game. Oh, I completed that game 10 years ago. Or, oh, here's this weird streamer bait game on Steam. And I'm going to stream all of those things, but I do 2 a night. And then for extra variety, my Sunday streams, that's where I do a lot of variety. And usually that variety is pretty bad. Like just really like weird, bad games.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're good, but the idea is variety and not sticking to one genre or game. That's how I do it.
Gotcha. Okay, great. Question 2, how many games per night is your comfortable upper limit?
Well, on Sunday, it can be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You see, on Sunday, that's where the trash gods bestow me like this goblin brain where I'm able to stream up to probably like, God, I can visit up to 20 games or so for a little while each, not like a whole big stream of each game, but a little bit. My comfortable limit is 2 games. I do like 2 hours per game on weekdays, but then on Sunday, I'll go through like collections of like, so let's say scummy Mario games. What classifies a scummy Mario game? It could be anything. It could be something that someone made in 1999, and it's just something a little bit off about it. And that will be, a collection of maybe 12 to 15 games, and I'll just go through them and just check them out real quick. And the scummiest Mario game will win. There's no contest.
Gotcha. That's very interesting. All right, I'm going to go ahead and write that down real quick. Scummy Mario wins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Question 3, how far in advance is your nightly schedule assembled?
5 minutes.
Great. All right, same for me. Question 4.
I can answer that. I can answer that a little
okay.
bit more detail.
Sure, go ahead.
If I'm streaming a game like Final Fantasy VI, which I just completed,
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'd like to maybe do 3 or 4 streams of that a week. So what I'll do is like every other night, I'll do a 2-hour Final Fantasy VI stream. So that's like as far as the planning goes.
Sure.
But sometimes I'll pair that with whatever I'm feeling. So if I want to play Scummy Mario that day, I can do that. And if I want to play like a little indie game, that nobody's ever heard of for 2 hours until people fall asleep, I can do that too. But I tend to, the schedule is kind of loose, but it's a little bit there.
Okay, all right. A little bit of a tangential question, just for my own curiosity. How deep is the Scummy Mario well? Because if you're playing Scummy Mario that often, I gotta imagine there's a lot of games out there.
It seems as unending as the emptiness in Luigi's eyes. I mean, I've gone through for years now Scummy Mario Pack after Scummy Mario Pack, and yet there's still more. In fact, I have another Mario Pack of like weird old Mario games that were made by fans that I still haven't seen these games. So it just seems like an unending well, honestly. And I'm still trying to get to the bottom of this. You know those iceberg images?
Yes, I'm aware.
Somewhere it's like an inverted Mario face, and the nose is the bottom of the iceberg, and I'm not even at the nose yet.
That seems as horrifying as the inky like blackness of space. I am very sorry for you and for your curse. Question 4.
It's a cosmic horror.
It's terrifying, I'm sure. How often do you drop a game mid-series?
I just did. I try not to. Well, let me say, I really don't like dropping games mid-series. I like to see a game through, which is why I'm very careful about which games I choose. I just dropped Body Harvest on the N64.
Okay.
Body Harvest is a cool game made by DMA, who eventually became Rockstar North, who eventually made um, GTA.
Hmm.
And Body Harvest is a game on the N64 that looks like just, you know, the low poly models to save resources in video
Yes.
games.
Yes.
The whole game is just that.
Hmm.
So it looks pretty bad and it's very foggy. However, it takes place in 4 time periods and you can drive cars all over the place. Like you can do helicopters, cars, jets, and each car's got different weapons and handling. It's really like a proto GTA. And you're an orange, crusty space marine and you fight bugs. Now, I loved this game growing up, and revisiting it, the first 3 streams I did of it were really good. And I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Now, there were some, I don't know if I can say this too loud, but emulation issues.
I'll let
I-
it pass. I'll go ahead and censor
Is that
you for the.
okay?
Yeah, no, I'll censor you for the final recording.
Okay, thanks. All right.
Hmm.
So there were some issues with this game, and it took years for it to be worthy of played on non-legit N64 hardware, let's say.
Hmm.
And so I'm playing it. Things are going wrong. It's a problem. Something, you know, crashes, or, you know, the vehicles turn too much. But I powered through because it was a really fun, exciting game for a little while there. My audience kind of liked it, sometimes didn't. But I got to a stream of it where I got to this section where you're in America in the 60s, and it was just awful. Like it was backtrack galore, vague objectives, and I almost never drop games.
Hmm.
I had to drop it. It was just annoying me too much. Now, I still hold that Body Harvest is like kind of a hidden gem of the N64 library. It's a bit of a cult classic, but it didn't age very well. And sadly, with emulation issues, it becomes an even worse experience.
Sorry, I just
So
wince every time you say it.
I'm sorry you had to hear that.
No, it's okay. I'm just a very purist streamer, but I digress. Question 5. Has YouTube been instrumental in your growth, or has the traffic it has brought into your stream only acted as a supplement to the numbers you already had?
Well, YouTube has been a complex thing because I started on YouTube a couple months before I started streaming, and YouTube was always well, at first it was just a place to post silly things that I recorded. And later on, I started making highlights for my channel of my streams. And then I got sick of video editing because I got burnt out on it. I did it for a living for 5 years. And then I did it for myself for 5 years. And
Mhm.
those were concurrent years mostly. So I'm lucky I've been able to get some people to help me. You know, I exchange for them monetary components, sometimes known as exposure.
Mm,
No, I pay them. I really actually pay them,
got it.
and they do they do good edits, and I appreciate them. And as a result, there's always a constant flow of highlights. Now, I'd say some of my videos, like the Mario corruptions, they kind of blew up, and that definitely helped get more people to my streams. That's when I noticed a big influx of people. And then in recent years, it's kind of leveled out, where I would say the growth on my channel, as someone who streams every night, there's going to be like a couple new people. And then over a year, you might turn a couple people into a couple hundred. Um, and so that's been nice, but also the YouTube growth has kept it kind of a steady growth as opposed to a boom. And
Got it.
so some people that see my highlights might join in for a little bit and be like, hey, this kind of sucks. How come all the funny moments aren't strung together? Or like, hey, this kind of sucks. This guy isn't funny every minute and a half. And so sometimes they leave, sometimes they stay. But it's been let's just say a symbiotic relationship, almost like a parasite, like you know, on like a brother, like a tall plumber, you know,
Sure.
who hangs around his red brother.
I'm not sure I follow, but I'll just go ahead and take your word for that. Uh, question 7. What's a key piece of information that you learned later in your streaming career that seems obvious in retrospect? If you can think of one.
In retrospect,
Yeah.
the piece of advice, or like the thing I wish I could learn, is a lot of things you just have to feel comfortable, And when people grill you over a thing that maybe they don't like, say you're playing a game that you like and they don't, I make little comments, but I don't get hung up over it. Whereas if someone came in to watch my Chrono Trigger stream and someone was like, "Hey man, this game suck," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, this is my favorite game. You can't do that." That would maybe bother me. But the more I do it, and the older I get, and the more experience, the less comments like that bother me. Or like, "Hey, streamer suck," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, I don't suck, do I?" A little bit, but then I kind of realize, well, it's okay because there's so many people here. I'm just going to keep moving, and I'm going to focus on what I want to do and the positive aspects of streaming. And I'm not going to let people that don't like a game I stream upset me. And I'm just going to keep streaming.
Mm-hmm.
That said, if a game that I stream is really not good, or if it's really losing my audience, I'll notice, and then I'll take care of it from there.
Mm-hmm. As this is not as an interviewer, but as a fellow streamer, I do understand that it's a very complex question to ask yourself: does streamer suck? And I appreciate you, sort of becoming vulnerable with me for a second. Second to last question: can you tell me that I'm doing a good job, please?
We talked about this. Are you sure
No, it's for the survey.
This is what you need?
This is scientific, yes.
It's for the survey.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay, cut this part out. Okay.
Okay. Sure, off the record.
Okay. Yes, you're doing a great job.
Yes. Can you say, Chase, you're doing a great job with my name, please? Thank you.
Your name is Chase?
Yeah, my name. Yeah, it's Chase. I'm sorry.
I thought it was bass, like bass.
Fuck, I'm not networking enough. Can you just say it, please? Second to last question.
All right. Let me see if I can get this right. Let me see. How do I do this? Okay. Chased, you are stream not no, hang on.
No, that was good. I thought that was good.
Let me try one more time.
Okay,
I can do the line.
I know you're like a musician, so you want to get the perfect take or whatever. Go ahead.
Here, so let me do the line. I got it. I remembered it. Okay.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Chase, you're doing great.
Oh my god. I think I'm crying a little bit.
The D major chord will do that. It's a good chord.
Yeah, coming from a major D, it pairs really well. Last question.
I had a feeling you were going to go there.
I don't know what you mean. Last question. What's the last time you went a significant amount of time without showering, and how positively did it affect your stream quality?
The sweatier, the bettier.
Awesome.
Better.
No, we're gonna cut that last part out. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming in today, Vince. Your answers have been instrumental towards the further growth of my channel, and I hope you have a great day.
Well, before I go, I'd like to say a couple things.
Oh, if you sure. Keep it brief though, because we only have this slot for a couple minutes.
Okay. I want to say that you're doing good work with this was it streaming that you're doing? Yes, streaming. And I want to say that I appreciate when you join VR chat and I see you as a ghost. That's cool. I enjoy that.
Oh, well, thank you. That wasn't written down on the script that I gave you, but I do appreciate that you sort of improv that one.
That's cool. I mean, that's extra. Improv is extra.
I gotcha. No, I'll be sure to add that onto your paycheck. Thanks so much, Vince, and I'll see you next time.
All right. Take care, Chase.
Yep, that's me.